Alrighty, just before we get ahead of ourselves, we gotta get to business. And what I mean by that is, if you guys haven't already, Season 4 for content creators have begun. The first code mission is out and about, so we're going to do that right now, and that is going furthermore into Charlotte and Harper, setting her up with their skills and recommended skills and artifact, which I thought I did, but then I realized, wait, I haven't done that yet. So, my bad. So we'll just quickly run through that, because of course with Harper and Charlotte, I understand that with some people, for like usability, it isn't greatly high up there for Charlotte and Harper as of right now, but for a later time I could see them, well, I say that, I mean Workshop Brilliant Night will come in, and so they'll be used more for there. But as I've mentioned, if you want to get Harper and Charlotte when their teach drops, that is also an option. Just putting that out there, so that way you can kind of weigh that out to see when their usability will go up throughout the game, and when that they'll be needed the most. But it's up to you and when you want to summon, of course. But we'll go through the build and make sure that it's all squared away. So the first mission is out, and yep, we are absolutely smashing it. By the way, as you guys know, for the supporters, I always do the deluxe pass giveaway, which is fine and dandy. Half anniversary, I'm going to do a few more giveaways for my supporters, so there's more things that you guys can get for free. That's cool. I'm also going to be dropping a video, and I'm going to make it fairly interesting to where supporters of mine has a chance to get themselves a free Thomas. That is right. I will be giving you enough summons so that way you can guarantee yourself a free Thomas. I figured out on how I'm going to do it, and it's not going to be random to where, oh, one of you can be lucky enough. No, it's going to come down to you and your thoughts on things of Thomas. That's all I'll say. I'll explain more about the video. I'll probably drop it, I don't know, sometime soon, before Gino drops, I think. So yes, so when it comes to the code that we're working on right now, I'll be able to give you guys 500 essence and 4 of the SR Hunter exclusive weapon design. Amazing. You guys know how good some of these SR weapons are, and if you're able to max them out, go do it. I mean, I've done a whole video talking about, you know, the ones that you should be catering to. I've already got 2 of the good ones, and this is just a huge helpful hand, right? Let's dive on in. We'll start off with Charlotte. So when it comes to Charlotte's skills, obviously we know how she works in terms of obviously being that ultimate user, of course. Especially when that tier 3 basic stack is in place, that then activates the ultimate so soon. I mean, you guys have seen the videos, I've done videos on myself of how quick the rotation is, especially if you can get it to A1. So in terms of working on skills, obviously you want to make sure that the ultimate is being worked on. Skill 2, Harper's Help, this also does get buffed up, so if you can cater to putting levels into this, then obviously your outcome on damage is going to be much greater, of course, so you want to kind of cater to that. I would say focus on these two. These two are going to be the more important skills that you want to make sure is high up there, so that way you can maximize the damage itself from the levels up on the skills, as well as the buffs that you can gain through the passives, of course. And then of course, if you want to cater to this skill 1, you can do so. You know, it's not too bad on that one. If you want to put a little bit of levels onto the basic attack, because of course that's what you're going to be using to get your ultimate. So if you want to get some chip damage going on, then you can go about doing it. But yeah, mainly you want to make sure that the ultimate and the skill 2 is up there, alright, before you invest into skill 1 if you want to, by choice, or even the basic attack to get some chip damages in, so it's completely up to you. But yeah, that's kind of the skill situation. Now, artifacts, as per usual, Curse is the highest leveling stat, so you get more out of it, more power damage, of course. And so, stat-wise, what you want to do is you want to cater to defense, you want to cater to damage increase, and you want to cater to critical hit damage, right? Those are the 3 recommended, of course, and then from that critical hit rate, attack will come into place on something that you want to also focus on, with the additional stats to also take into consideration. So like as you guys can see with the helmet, main stat being defense, because she completely scales off from defense, so make sure that your defense is high up there, and then with that make sure you're getting some damage increase, because that will then affect the passive, where the user's critical hit damage stat increases equal to 10% of the user's increased damage stat. Alright, so you want to make sure that that is also getting fed in, and then the additional bonuses will then just kind of hopefully slide on in. Obviously, unfortunately, right there, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. Now, with the chest piece, you can do additional defense or defense. yeah, I'm kind of... Obviously, I can get better gear, but for right now, this will do. So damage increase, attack, additional defense. This wasn't bad. But you know how the game is. Out of all the substats that I've got, it literally focused on one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new one because there's no way I'm getting lucky with a main defense stat with actually getting good substats. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back on the drawing board on that one, but pretty much you guys get the idea on what you want to focus on. I went with additional attack. I mean, I would suggest attack. It's just I didn't have anything good in terms of having something like this set up. So yeah, even if you do have additional attack, just make sure you've got like defense going in, damage increase, critical hit rate, you know, even attack. But yeah, this wasn't too bad. But again, probably will switch up until I get like a main attack stat one coming in. And then the boots, you have a choice of doing defense or critical hit damage. It just really comes into on what substats you have. So going with boots with critical hit damage, as you guys can see, substat wise, this was pretty solid. So I'm getting the crit hit rate up there. Damage increase, very nice. And then with the additionals, it wasn't actually too bad to have. So like MP consumption, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then additional attack, that's just more on the offensive side of things, of course. So yeah, so that's primarily what we're kind of working out when it comes to the substats. And then obviously on the accessory side, it's pretty much going to be the same thing, right? So this was extremely solid. If only that was HP, that would have been nice, but I mean, it's not a big deal, to be honest, with it being additional HP. Dark damage kind of kept this because this is exactly what I wanted. Defense +2, critical hit damage +2. What more could I ask for? The additionals are not bad at all in terms of supporting me in the MP, so that's not too bad. This is horrible. So the ring should technically be either, I mean, well, I was either going to lean towards either attack or defense, but I would say lean for the main stat to be defense and then cater to, obviously, this. I mean, this is all, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, the substats are fantastic, but I just wish that defense was up in the main stat. So substats are really solid and is what is kind of making up for the main stat kind of being doo-doo, but yeah, so that and the chest piece is what I need to work on, but make sure the main stat is defense, and then the sub stats you've got attack, crit damage, all that good stuff. Even additional defense, if that pops in there, fantastic. But yeah, damage increase would have been huge here, but we've got the event to help us on that one. And then with the earrings, yeah, for the earrings, this is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. The only downside to this is that additional defense got +2. Defense, additional defense, damage increase, critical hit damage. This is all you could ask for. The only downside is that you're making sure you're getting the +1s in the right area. So, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing that additional defense got it, but I would have much catered for it to go into the critical hit damage, you know? But, yeah, so that's pretty much what you're looking for when it comes to the sub-stats. Now, again, the curse set is going to be a favored one. Now, what you guys can do, if you want to, you could go about switching things up into, let me just go to a change artifact, there we go. Okay, so in terms of sets, what I would recommend, if you want to, you could put the toughness set on, and then on the left hand side keep with the curse set. That is an option to maximize damage output, alongside with obviously giving yourself the crit rate and crit damage increase, of course, so that will furthermore cater to Charlotte. You can go about going with that set, if that makes it easier for yourself, depending on, you know, what artifacts you have in terms of stat wise. Now the second set, if you choose to, which I don't think it will be a bad idea, and I think I kind of want to run a set of like this, put the one hit kill set on, because of course Charlotte, every rotation she's getting her ultimate off. So, and here's the thing, the ultimate is not working off from a power gauge, right? It's her basic attack that triggers it. So why not get the additional increase in the ultimate? So you can go about doing that, and you obviously with that you can stick on with the curse set as per usual. I mean, I guess you can throw in the outstanding ability if you choose to, but I would probably still cater to the burning curse set, to be fair. So yeah, you can go about running that as a set itself, and I think those are kind of like the sets that I would recommend, to be fair. In terms of what you could use. So if I just grab them all now, I mean, I'll throw this in there because I mean that is also usable. Boom. Yeah. So for the right hand, for the right hand it will be curse or the MP set, right? And then the left hand you can go with curse, toughness, or the one hit kill. So moving along to the skills now. So I would say the way you want to kind of work it is obviously make sure that skill 2 and skill 1 are being leveled up, because then you can focus into then working on the ultimate, and then also put a little bit of love into the core attack, because of course the core attack will be your savior in terms of that paralyze. So you can quite easily go into doing the hammer drift, paralyzing, and then drop in the tendonizer, and that way you can maximize your damage without the boss doing nothing, kind of staying there for the most part, for the most duration, and then that leads into then you being able to do the ultimate, of course. But yeah, basic skills, make sure they're being done up, then obviously focus on the ultimate, and then lastly, if you want to, I would say just put a little bit of levels into the core attack, because the lead up into the core attack you can actually do a decent amount of damage. So like for me personally, I do over 250,000 with my core attack, which is very nice. So you can really gain some additional chip off damage with that core attack if you can do it up. So yeah, that's kind of how I would say to go about working on the skills themselves. Okay, so when it comes to Harper, HP crits, that's pretty much what we're kind of working with. I mean, from that you can cater to a little bit of attack if you choose to, additional HP, I mean that's kind of stating the obvious, of course, but anyway, so with the HP, as you guys can see, we've got the main stat being the headpiece, which is absolutely fine, and then I decided to kind of rock with this because +3 on the critical hit rate, because I mean that opens up and it actually gives me a little bit of a lean way to then work on other gears that don't have crit hit rate, if that makes sense, because I'm getting a +3 on the headpiece, of course. Chest piece, additional defense. I mean, again, you really want to go for the main stat, so I should have that as defense, but with the substats it wasn't too bad with what I had to work with, so that's why I kind of catered to this. If damage increase was attack, that'd be pretty nice, but we'll keep as is, so this actually is pretty solid. So I've got this one, again, critical hit rate +3, HP +1. I do have another arm piece if I want to switch it up, because it gives me HP, attack, critical hit rate, and I think damage increase or MP reduction, one of the two. So I'll kind of switch in between the twos, but I mean, yeah, this isn't too bad either. I'm basically critting like an absolute madman. And then the foot piece, you have a choice of, again, it being HP or critical hit damage, but because the amount of crit rate that I've got going on, I'm making sure my crit damage is up there, of course. And yeah, as you guys can see, substat wise, it's not too bad, you know, giving myself HP, catering to the critical hit rate. Additional HP is getting a little bit of love in. If only the damage reduction was attacked, I mean, that would have been pretty nice, but damage reduction is not bad at all, especially for Harper, right? Because she's there to eat and tank, so that actually isn't too bad. So that's kind of what I catered to, of course, but again, I would have preferred the attack. With the necklace, additional HP, again, if it was HP main stat, that would have been pretty nice. But as you guys can see with the substats, not too bad. Damage increase isn't exactly needed for Harper, but I mean, we'll take it. So yeah, substats wasn't too bad. So yeah, if only that main stat was HP, that's what I would switch it up for. We'll go over to the bracelet, obviously keeping up with the dark damage. Honestly, with myself, I will probably have to create a good bracelet, but I mean, this isn't too bad. I'm only catering to this bracelet purely because of the additional HPs, but yeah, I mean, if you've got HPs, critical hit damages, attacks and whatnot, I think that would have been pretty nice, because again, you don't want to, you do want to lean to some offensive power. Harper can hit pretty hard, so that's kind of what I want to cater to. The ring itself, obviously HP being the main stat, critical hit damage +1, HP +1. Yeah, this isn't bad at all, to be fair, so thankfully I got +1s across the board, kind of even it out rather than the last two getting all the loving, so yeah, we'll take it. And then lastly, when it comes to the earrings, additional MP, but I lucked out, so I got HP, additional HP, attack, critical hit damage. This is picture perfect. I ran with it, I took it, and I went home, so not too bad on that one, to be fair. If only that +1 from additional HP went into critical hit damage. But yeah, this is solid. This is solid. We'll take that. So when it comes to the artifacts, what could you run? I mean, again, the greed set is pretty much going to be the set that obviously you want to first and foremost try and get cooking, of course. And then outside of that, what you guys could choose to do is keep with the greed set, being on the right hand side, and then obviously with the accessory side of things, of course. Keep in mind with Harper, you really want to kind of push for Charlotte, so that way your ultimate damage output is going to be extremely high up there. So I mean, if you want to, I mean, this is an option, right? So that way you can really cater to supporting and pushing more for Charlotte, because at the end of the day, Harper's role is to push more for Charlotte, especially with all the buffs that she can apply. So you can go about doing that, of course. And then you could also keep with the greed, and you can stick with Angel of White if you want to. I would say stick to Angel of White over Noble Sacrifice, but you could choose to do Noble Sacrifice, but I'll stick to Angel of Light, so that way, where is it? Does it show me? Yeah, boom. So again, giving you that HP increase, and then you're also supporting Charlotte with that second part of it. Obviously, healing isn't going to be done because you're not going to be healing, but that's completely fine. That is what I would suggest and recommend in terms of going about building these girls, in terms of the artifacts, what stats you're looking out for, as well as also catering onto certain skills that you want to make sure that are being leveled up first and foremost, of course. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave things. So there we go, Charlotte and Harper in a nutshell on how to kind of go about building them up once you get your hands on them, or if you do have your hands on them and still kind of questioning on how to go about it. But once again, if you guys do want to support your boy, please do so. If you are a supporter of mine, by all means enter the giveaways that I do for you guys on a monthly basis. Come the half anniversary, there's going to be more to come, and yeah, that free Thomas video will be coming out very, very soon for my supporters. So yeah, but that one's going to be a bit of a RNG play on your end, if you can correct. I don't know. I'll explain it once I get the video out. But